Welcome back to my channel, everybody. My name is Emily Gear. I'm a transformative energy healer and multidimensional channel. I'm here with your weekly messages, Taurus, and this is a voice recording only this week, just because I'm not feeling quite up to being on camera. There will be an extended read, however, for relationships, and I'm changing up the format just a little bit. We will be doing a you and them, or you versus them. I don't really like the word versus, so that's why I call it you and them. But it will look at both parties in a relationship. We'll see how that goes. I think that might be effective. And so, your feedback is very much appreciated on those videos as well as these videos. And thank you again for all of you who have recently subscribed, who are sharing, who are commenting. Without your feedback, I really don't know if my messages are meaningful to you guys. And with the time commitment and the amount of time it takes me away from my personal life, my other job, and my one-on-one clients, I like to know that this is meaningful for you. So without further ado, I just want to start getting into some of the messages that are coming through for you guys for this week. Now, this is the week of the Lion's Gate, but these messages are definitely applicable even if you're finding this video at some later date, okay? I do feel like you guys are getting hit with some sort of truth bomb this week. It might be that an external experience comes in that makes you kind of see what you've been doing in a different light. It's almost like... I don't want to say it's like starting over. It isn't really starting over, but it almost like it just changes your perspective in a certain way so that you are beginning anew with a new perspective. And I really think that perspective is kind of anchored in what it is that you truly love. What is it in your life that truly gives you happiness? Because I think we're at this point, especially, with the Galactic New Year, with the Lionsgate portal, all these sort of new beginning points. And I am feeling that this Lionsgate is kind of an opening, sort of a, it's like when the horses are racing and they first open the gates and the horses take off. That's kind of how it's feeling to me this year. So I think that you are kind of getting this more grounded grasp on what makes you happy. Have you been working yourself to death? Are you living to work instead of working to live, or whatever that saying is? Are you sticking it out in a relationship which has been detrimental to your health, both mentally and physically, because you think you have to, or it's too hard not to? Or do you feel like there's something more for you out there? It literally could be any area in your life, but I do feel like there is some understanding of, or at least beginning to identify what it is that gives you joy and makes you happy and makes you feel like happy to wake up in the morning. That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting. It's like you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And that's the truth bomb that has hit you. It's like you have turned off, to a degree, some of your connection to that part of yourself. And when we're disconnected from a part of ourselves, we suffer. We grow as individuals, and we begin to really connect with our purpose, and also align with our higher selves and our higher potential when we are in connection with our true feelings. And I think that's kind of where you're getting to be at this point, because you have been so shut off from that in the past. It feels very much like being part of an assembly line, or being part of a, kind of like blind matrix operation in the past. And now you're beginning to see yourself as an individual with a choice. And you are. So, I get that, for you guys, I feel like for some of the signs at this time, it's very easy to step into and manifest these things. And it's not that it's difficult for you necessarily, but I do think that there's some work that needs to go into it for you guys. I'm being reminded that Chiron is actually, it's not in Taurus. It is in Aries right now. So why are they pointing to Chiron? Maybe it's in your natal chart. So if you have Chiron in Taurus in your natal chart conjunct your Sun and or Venus, that might be part of some of this difficulty. That it's not really a difficulty so much as it takes a little bit of work and self understanding in order to make the movements that you need to make, or to reach the goal that you want to reach. Okay. And your understanding, I think that what's coming through this week is this real grasp of what it is that you want in your life. So it will take a little time to build up to that. But the thing is that, having set then this framework, this sort of understanding of what it is that makes you happy, you're in a great position to do that. You're finally grounded into what it is that you really want. It's no longer about just getting through the day. It's about making every day count. In some sense. And what count means is different. What count used to mean is, can I bring home a paycheck? Can I make the bills? Can I get the kids to soccer? Now it's beginning to be, what are my relationships like? Can I connect with the kids today? Can I fulfill meaningful purpose? Can I make the bills but also feel like I'm living my life? And that's just a shift. That's a change. And this is a beginning of a new way of seeing your life as a life to be lived instead of a life to be endured almost. So, sorry, my dog is chewing his leg in the background. This is something that you have been manifesting in your life for quite some time, okay? You've been putting work into this, whether you are consciously aware of that or not. It's been, they're showing me that it's sort of, they're like showing me the whole horoscope wheel and the sun going around and around and around. And my feeling is that this has been part of your path since the day you were born. And that this kind of switch in your way of viewing life was sort of fated. And this is almost like the beginning of the next part of your life. So that should feel really good. And I'm also getting the impression that, whereas in the past you were working toward healing or whatever, and we always are. So don't think that this means, oh, the healing's done, I don't need to do anything else. But you have reached a kind of stability, a kind of a place of accomplishment and achievement and, standing on your own 2 feet, a kind of feeling of empowerment that hasn't necessarily been there in the same way before. And this is helping you to actually hold on to, or to have come to this new realization, this truth bomb that has come through, and to understand that this is something that you deserve, as opposed to in the past where you might have said, oh yeah, that's not for me, that's for other people, that's not for me. What is for you? And I think that, the major challenge here is to stay out of that kind of self-defeating mindset where it's like, oh, I've worked so hard in my life, this is never going to happen for me. But the thing is that the energies at this time are A, supporting it, and B, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, your life has been working up to this point all the way through. You've been releasing the sort of template of the working hard, or the suffering for stature, or the suffering for abundance, that kind of stuff. Everything is changing now. The way that we are manifesting our lives and abundance and love and relationship and everything in our lives is completely changing now, and it's coming from the depths of the divine feminine, as I talked about in some of my recordings from the last few days. So definitely check those out if you have not yet. Check out the New Moon in Leo recording, and also check out the Lionsgate energy report. So I think that will be helpful. And there's this strengthening, this sort of not really propping up, but this like lifting up of the divine feminine template right now. Block it. And so it's important that you allow this to take place in your life. Okay. The advice, other than the entire reading, but the last point I want to make here is that, this really is a choice. And we feel sometimes disempowered in our lives because so many things, that everything external is out of our control. The only thing we can control is the way that we respond to all of the external. But we have the choice in how we're going to perceive the events that take place in our lives. And I just challenge you to start perceiving them as the gateway into this new way of being, this new way of seeing life. And as you do that, it begins to conduct the electricity of your life along those pathways. Okay? And this is not only energetic and sort of out in the universe, but this is also internally, because you change the neuroplasticity within your body, like the way that your thoughts, your energy, the way that your nerves sort of like move energy around your body changes as you change your thoughts. It takes time, it takes practice, and it takes balance. So if it doesn't, if you feel like you failed at changing your mindset because you only tried it once one day, you have to make it a habit. You have to make it a practice, a daily practice of seeing the world through these new eyes. Make yourself an affirmation that, whatever that truth bomb is that has come to you, make yourself an affirmation that relates to it, whether that's about receiving all the abundance that life has to offer, that you deserve it, or that it comes to you easily with grace and ease. Whatever that affirmation needs to be, write it down and repeat it to yourself 3 times a day if you need to. Whatever you need to do to change those neural pathways within you, because you are changing the way that you attract the energy in from the universe as well. Okay. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you're interested in looking directly into relationships, we're going to do you and them, so you'll get a picture of both people. And that will be available on Vimeo with the link in the info box below. And if you decide that you would like to do a private reading with me, you can do that by scheduling on my website, which is IamEmilyGear.com. Okay, guys, it's always a pleasure, and thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you again next week.